This presentation is Local Food Purchasing at Michigan Schools 2019 MEGS Plus survey results for the 2020 School Nutrition Association of Michigan virtual conference. Greetings, my name is Colleen and I'm the Farm to Institution Specialist at the MSU Center for Regional Food Systems. I'm also the Michigan State lead for the National Farm to School Network and the coordinator for the Michigan Farm to Institution Network. Today in this presentation, we're going to talk about the latest results of a tracking effort focused on local food purchasing at Michigan schools. The Michigan Department of Education administers the USDA child nutrition programs in Michigan, as you know, and in order to participate in the National School Lunch Program and other school nutrition programs, which we'll refer to as SNP, a school or a school district must submit an application through an online platform called the Michigan Electronic Grant Systems Plus, known as MEGS Plus. You all are familiar with this, I'm sure. Since the 2014-2015 school year, MDE has included 2 optional questions in this application to survey Michigan school food service directors about local food purchasing. For the 2019-2020 school year SMP application, food service directors were asked the following optional questions. You can see them here. Do you currently purchase local foods for your school meals, with a definition of local foods that are foods grown, raised, or processed in Michigan? And if yes, then please check from which sources you purchase local foods from the options listed below. Today, we'll review results from the school year 2019-2020 MEGS Plus survey and compare them to results from previous years to look at patterns over time. It's important to note that food service directors who purchase local foods may be more inclined to respond to these optional survey questions, so the results may not be representative of all Michigan food service directors' purchasing behavior. And before we dive into the results, we want to thank all of the school food service directors who responded to these optional survey questions. And special thanks goes to Jamie Molnar and Diane Gluzinski of the Michigan Department of Education for their ongoing leadership in this tracking effort. For the 2019-2020 school year, 878 school nutrition program applications were submitted through MEGS Plus, and of the food service directors who applied, 58%, or 505 of those 878, responded affirmatively with a yes that they purchase local foods for school food programs. And this graph shows the percentage of the applicants who reported purchasing from each source. You can see the top 3 reported sources for local foods are the broadline distributor, DoD, USDA foods, and unprocessed fruit and vegetable pilot, so federal food sources, and local grocery stores. And this chart shows the total number and percentage of school food service directors who reported purchasing local food from each source. Just a different way of looking at the same information. But for comparison, you can see results for all the previous years that these optional questions were asked, all the way back to the 2014-2015 school year. So note that before 2017, farmers markets were included as part of the local grocery store option for local food sources. And it was only starting in 2017, farmers markets were a distinct and separate option. So that's why both of those are starred there. You can see that each year since these optional questions were included in the SMP application, more than 50% of all applicants reported purchasing local foods. The percentage of food service directors who reported purchasing local foods in 2019-2020, 58%, was the second highest percentage behind school year 2017-2018, when 60% of food service directors reported purchasing local foods. Broadline distributor, as you'll see, has been the most frequently reported source of local foods, with at least 80% of food service directors reporting the source across all years. It's important to note that in Michigan, some food purchasing for federal programs, including DoD, USDA, and the unprocessed fruit and vegetable pilot, are routed through these broadline distribution channels. So broadline distributors may be indicated more frequently as local food sources by Michigan food service directors. And this next graph shows reported local food sources in school year 2019-2020, they're in green, alongside the results from the previous 2 school years for comparison. You'll see results from 2018-19 in orange and from 2017 and 2018 in blue. Similar to the previous results, 2019-2020 survey results responses showed that broadline distributors were the most commonly reported local food source, followed by those federal food programs. Grocery stores were the 3rd most common local food source in 2019, followed by farms, farmers markets, cooperatives, and food hubs. 7% more food service directors indicated purchasing local food from federal food sources in 2019-2020 than in both of the previous school years. Reports of sourcing direct from farms actually decreased by 2 percentage points over each of the past 2 survey years, as you can see in that farm direct category. We also compared the survey responses between all S&P applicants with responses of applicants that participated in 10 cents a meal in that pilot in the 2018-2019 year. So let's take a look at those now. 10 cents a meal for school kids and farms, or 10 cents as we call it, is a state-funded pilot program that matches what schools spend on Michigan fruits, vegetables, and legumes up to 10 cents a meal. Since 10 cents grantees are provided with incentive funding for purchasing these foods for school meals programs, the comparison of this group to all S&P applicants was of interest to see if engagement in the 10 cents program produced some different results. So you'll note here that the 2018-2019 school year survey results are used for the 10 cents comparison since the program, the 10 cents program, remained unfunded by the Michigan legislature in 2019-2020 until very late in the summer. So the 2018-2019 school year data was the best data we had for 10 cents to compare that group and their behavior with all S&P applicants. So you'll note the differences in the years there. And it's the same S&P application data that we were using for all years, but the 10 cents grantees themselves were from the 2018-2019 school year, just to clarify. 5 food service directors participating in 10 cents did not respond affirmatively to the first question that they did buy local foods, so their responses were excluded from the analysis. So you'll see there in that yes buy local category, there are only 52 of 57 grantees there. So otherwise, this table shows the comparison of all applicants and those from 10 cents participating schools and districts who did respond that they purchased local food. Compared to 58% of all applicants reporting that they purchased local food in school year 2019-2020, 91% of 10 cents food service directors responded affirmatively that they purchased local foods in the previous school year. And here's another way again of looking at the same data. You can see that as a group, food service directors participating in 10 cents more frequently reported purchasing from all sources except grocery stores and farmers markets. And the greatest difference lies in responses about sourcing directly from farms. While 40% of 10 cents food service directors reported purchasing directly from farms, only 14% of all applicants did. This indicates that 10 cents grantees are helping to meet one of the program goals of investing in Michigan agriculture. 10 cents food service directors also may be more willing and motivated to seek out and work directly with farmers to source local foods because of those reimbursements that they're receiving. Results of these optional survey questions in the S&P application allow us to explore patterns over time, as well as participation within specific programs like 10 cents, as you can see. These results can also guide local food suppliers in marketing to schools and provide stakeholders with information to continue to support the growth of farm to school in Michigan, both at the local school district level and across the state. If you're interested in learning more about farm to school in Michigan, you can find loads of resources on our website at myfarmtoschool.msu.edu. You can see the URL there. And if you are interested in purchasing more local foods, you can also find a list of contacts, including MSU Extension educators around the state who can help in our Serving Up Local Foods resource suite that's available on our website. And you'll see a snapshot of it here, showing some of our contacts around the state, including those MSU Extension educators. And I'll hang here for a minute as you take a look at that. And here you'll see our trustee state agency contacts if you care to get in touch with them for additional support. Thank you for learning more about local food purchasing activity in Michigan. And we look forward to sharing more MEGS Plus survey results like these in future years. Good luck with your farm to school efforts this year, and I wish you all the best for the school year ahead.